Westside BBC. Westside BBC. I take a look at myself, I likes what I'm seeing. I'm far from conceited, just a fly human being. I dress, talk, and smell as if I want the world. Learn to steal and that's real once it attracts the girls. My sunshine, spend time, margarita twisted with lime. Half baked in these DC streets, and if you can't stand the heat, ain't got to tell you about the kitchen. Sin City living, how you twigging and itching. Stealing for a living, cause the city, the frequency is a hell of a stench. The city raised the grinch, taught him how to steal, land both sides of the fence. Gave him a gun and told the rabbit to have fun, not just counties, boundaries, mountains, time zones, 41 states, cripped in, 15 cripped in, and look at me mama, I'm still dipping, rest till I die, nigga try me, fuck a IV, they got 48 hours to find me, burn the whole crime scene, and all they know is he smoke good greens, and live by all means, with the heart of the whole team, you think it's easy to flip from sugar to shit, smoke up the scene and burn rubber and weed with it, designed for the 3 and the G in it, east side, you see the West LV represent explicit. And if y'all think I came to talk pimp shit, bitch, you got me twisted. It's 3-A-N-G-S-T-A period, and I just look like this. I tell them I just look like this. And Lord knows I ain't never been a punk about shit. I live the G-code where most of y'all niggas just talked it. Kicked in doors and pimped hoes, where the G's at, cause this ain't the Lancey Street. Please believe that. Fucking with me, you get P shit, G shit, Westside 3 shit on 1P, bitch. My rock and roll lock and load, and ain't no bluffing. When them niggas talking loud and ain't saying nothing. But I kick the type of shit that can break a bitch. Like a thief, anything I want I'm taking it. Out of control, rock and skate with it. Left side, and Lord know I ain't no faking it. I took my game from the streets and jump states with it. Game remain the same, although the name changed cause they face strange. And if I got the gang bang, I burn rubber and weed and lead this bitch right now, man. From blue rags to tracks with hoes that attract tricks and jack dick, that's how it crack, bitch. Think it's a game, it's a fact, bitch. Fucking with Tone P, I'll get your bitch ass blasted up.
Wanna see my cars on flatbeds. Hey, this is a session, selling that crack, yeah. Niggas selling super sour bionic glue, and got Superman powers when I'm stressed new. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. Yeah. John Dillinger shit. Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. Yeah. John Dillinger shit. Niggas in the hood wanna see my cars on flatbeds. Hey, this is a recession, selling that crack, yeah. Niggas selling super sour bionic glue, and got Superman powers when I'm stressed new. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga.
guess good evening, or excuse me, good morning, good afternoon. This is going to be part 2 of last night's episode of the Frontline Black News, Season 2, Episode 48. And I'm your host, Chan Krumah. I might be having some guests, so I dropped the link in the chat. So if y'all want to jump on, let me know. But we will, might be having some guests. The topics that we're discussing this afternoon are what we didn't get to last night, which was the Hidden History Museum opens in Los Angeles, California, in the Jefferson Park District this past week. We're going to give you an update on the Reparations Task Force meeting that took place in Sacramento, California this weekend, this past Friday and Saturday, and the Unhoused Neighbor News and the Unhoused Neighbor Sweeps. So, last week, brother by the name of Tariq Nasheed launched the Hidden History Museum. It was had a grand opening, and look, it was a very good turnout. So I'm gonna play some of the videos from that event. And shout out to our viewers. We appreciate you. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to the Frontline Black News and the Revolutionary Agenda on YouTube. And if you're on Twitter, make sure that you like and subscribe to Shabaka EXP. Share this out, y'all. Yes. So this is from Afro Elite. Afro Elite, shout out to him. I believe he's based out of Chicago. He did this little video of the Hidden History Museum that opened up in Los Angeles this past week.
So much for having the courage, for having the vision to bring our history to the public. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to bring our brother up who's in the room. This is my master teacher, your master teacher. I don't know if without this brother, he's so good. I've always said that this brother here is the heart of the Hidden Color series. Ladies and gentlemen, I got you. Gotta have y'all give a nice round of applause for Brother Kava. Wow. Foundational Blacc. The one that we today call indigenous people are food federation for human beings that came to this country. Or they're known as the Asian generation. And they sort of kind of changed the way they look at it because the basis of indigenous people is African. The base of Chinese people is Africa. The base of the human family is Africa. And then when Africans get their show together, then they took it on the road and put it.
Beautiful. Shout out to Dr. Kaba. I contributed to it too. I put 50 on it. This was back during COVID. Let's see. Still up here. That's it. Oh, there it is.
We're coming to get out. Sisters, welcome to the Afro Elite YouTube channel. I am your host, Afro Elite. Before we get started, please make sure that you guys, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification, share this to a family or friend or on your various social media platforms. Because that really does help the reach and growth of the channel. Black History Month was a great month. Great month for the channel, growing at an incredibly fast rate. We're definitely going to take off this channel. Definitely going to take off this year for sure, without doubt. Thanks. Give a shout out to the people who are in the room. We have our brother King Gravity, Royal Lee, our brother Torian Rain, Sister Nikki, Brandon. Let's see the message, not the messenger. Okay, so the education, Buffalo, New York. Okay, Buffalo, New York is in Harlem. Sister Rachel, Real Women Don't Do Nonsense. Okay, we got quite make sure the links was out. A lot of people. Okay. I'm going to start from the shirt. The one of the super merchandise I got. All right. So, okay, I want to make sure everything is straight. Okay. So, start off. That was on, I bought the ticket the 7th of February. Okay. Now, before then, Tariq kept saying he's going to sell the tickets and get sold out right then and there. Get it right then and there. Get it right then and there. So I was waiting. They're like every day, especially because he said he was going to sell it in the beginning of February. So every day I'm like,
what's up, man?
Every so often I'm expecting.
Good to see you. How you been?
Good. Where do I know you from, bro? So we gotta have a mutual friend, bro. I feel like this is my first time on here.
Yeah, I think this is your first time on Frontline Black News. But you know me from the activism work that I was doing out here in Denver.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I do a lot of shit down there myself. All right, good to see you. The audio is so jacked. I figured I'd come up here and we could talk, man. Give you some company or something, man. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to understand a lot of what they're saying. I don't know if, you can pick it up. Or maybe it's clearer when I'm up here. You mind talking, or did you want to play vids?
I was going to play the video and then we can talk about it.
I'll try and listen as best I can.
And make sure you didn't put the link out there, because if I missed it, I was going to be blue. I was going to be mad. I missed it. So on the 7th, he started selling the tickets. I immediately went to Twitter, got a ticket, and then I got my hotel. Okay. Went to Twitter, got the ticket, very important. Got the ticket on the 7th. Pay attention to the dates, okay? Because it's very important. Now, the event is on the 25th. I got the ticket on the 7th, got the hotel on the 7th, and the flights on the 7th. I'm booked. I'm good. Everything is fine. Everything is fine, okay? I'm just, saving up, making sure all my responsibilities taken care of before I left town.
What's this guy's story, man? Maybe a little backstory on what I'm watching.
So the backstory is this brother, he's a content creator named Afro Elite, and I got turned on him last year when Tariq Nasheed. Are you familiar with Tariq Nasheed?
I don't think so.
Wow. Okay. Well, like all I listened to was like New Black Media.
Yeah.
So it's like real revolutionary Black nationalist type radio.
Yes.
Anyway, this brother by the name of Tariq Nasheed, he was a comedian and now he's like a historian, filmmaker.
Right on.
So he had raised through Indiegogo $1 million to create a hidden history museum that was to showcase Black history, specifically Black American history, in a museum in LA. So it just happened this past week. So this brother is talking about his trip to the Hidden History Museum and what he experienced and what he went through.
Thank you for that. Very good.
Everything was cool. Okay. So apparently there was some type of crazy thunderstorm that went on. The weather was like record-breaking crazy in Los Angeles the week of, but like the weekend of. So my original flight and my hotel that I booked simultaneously. Yes, thank you, Sister Nikki. Please make sure we get the likes up. I booked these simultaneously. So I was supposed to leave Thursday night at 8:40 from O'Hare Airport. That's the airport in Chicago, okay? And get to Los Angeles. I have booked my hotel to check in Thursday night because now LA time is like a few hours back. So it was going to take me some time to get there. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to check in maybe around 10 o'clock. That's what I said my check-in time was. Now, I said this in the previous broadcast that they canceled my flight. I got my company to take me up to the airport, okay? Now, this is on the 25th. 3rd. That's when I was supposed to be flying out. All of this is important. You got to remember all of this. Keep in mind, take notes. Remember all of this, okay? So I was supposed to leave that day. On the way to the airport, okay, I got an email saying that the flight was delayed due to weather. So instead of leaving at 8:40, the flight was going to leave at 9 o'clock, which was fine. I didn't have a problem with it. When I got to the airport, they sent me an email saying, your flight has been canceled, and here's the next available flight.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Wow.
I stared at my phone. I'm like, is he driving? He's like, hey, what terminal is it? So I'm looking to see what terminal it is, and I found that the flight was canceled, and it was canceled and scheduled to 1:40 p.m. the next day, Friday. So I'm like, oh my God, there's got to be an earlier flight than that. There's got to be an earlier flight than that. It wasn't. I still had to pay him because he still took me, so I still had to pay him gas and his time. So I had to go home. That's when I made that video, okay, that you guys really loved, where I broke down I will do some Africa, some whatever his name is, okay. So broke that down. Friday, because I got family, and I just one cousin. I got family there, right? One of my cousins was supposed to take me to the airport. He wound up not being able to come in time because he was coming in from work, and I'm all like, "Hey, can you take me?" He's like, "Yeah, I might come, but it might be tight." And then he took me. He texted me and he said, "Hey, I'm not going to be able to make it in time enough for you to get to the airport."
Damn.
So I immediately, now mind you, it's like 12 o'clock. He texted me that he's not going to be able to make it. I immediately get on the phone with one of my friends from college. I'm all like, "Hey, can you take me to the airport? I'll cash app you some gas." I cash app him. He comes. We're zooming to the airport. I threw everything in the bag. We're rushing to the airport. We get to the airport at 1:40. Okay, now the flight takes off at 1:40. So I'm saying, I went to the customer service. I'm all like, "Hey, this y'all gonna have to really reschedule some other flight or something like that." So then they set the flight. Okay, the next flight is at 3:40. Okay. You was running like the family of Home Alone. Torian, we haven't even gotten to that part yet. But yes, yes, I was. Yes, absolutely, I was. Okay. So, I'm cool. I go through the checkout. Pay very close attention to this because this is gonna be important later. Okay. I have my laptop, have my clothes, all that. 2 bags, one big duffel bag, and then one bag with my laptop and charger and all that, stuff like that. So that went through. I put my book bag first, because when you in TSA, you got to take your jacket off, your shoes off, your hat, and all that stuff. So I took that stuff off. Put it through. My book bag with the laptop went first. Everything came out, and then the book bag didn't come out. So I looked at the TSA agent, and I'm all like, my book bag, where's my book bag? And he's like, we had to review it because there was a laptop in there. So I'm like, oh, okay, all right, well, okay. So pay attention to that. So I'm waiting on my airport, on my flight. My flight takes me there. So you got to turn all of the data off. You got to put it on airplane mode. Now, a lot of what they have is Wi-Fi, like the plane has Wi-Fi. So you can go on their Wi-Fi and you can watch movies that they pay for. So because it's Black History Month, there's a Black History Month category in their movie library. So I clicked the Black History Month category, and the very first movie that popped up was 12 Years a Slave. I was like, okay. It was 12 Years a Slave. Apparently, because I flew with American Airlines, apparently they love Denzel Washington. They really do. Because there was a lot of Denzel Washington movies. It was 12 Years a Slave. It was a couple of movies with Chadwick Boseman. It was 42. It wasn't the original Black Panther, which I was surprised. It was the new Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Yeah, they had 12 Years a Slave up there. I'm like, oh wow. Y'all something else. That's something else. I didn't really know what to watch. Have you guys remember the Titans? So I watched that, I'm just chilling. I watched that 12 Years a Slave. Really. For Black History Month. That's the movie they had, 12 Years a Slave for Black History Month. And that was the first thing that popped up when I went to open like the app. So, wait, hold on. I skipped a very, very, very major part before we got on the plane. I'm sorry. I'm rushing. I'm sorry. As I'm waiting on the plane, okay. No Malcolm X. Malcolm X was not. They had a bunch of Denzel movies except Malcolm X, which was interesting because it was Black History Month, right? That's interesting. So, as I'm waiting for my flight, Booking.com, because that's where I booked my hotel with, Booking.com emails me and says the hotel said that you didn't check in because I was supposed to check in the night before. So I said, I emailed them back immediately. I'm all like, oh, well, my flight got delayed till today. I'm just about to board my flight. You can let them know that I'm going to be there a little later on today. They sent me a confirmation email letting them know that they got the email. They're like, oh, okay, well, we just wanted to clear that up. I'm waiting, I'm chilling. I got another email saying that my hotel was canceled, that my hotel room was canceled.
Knew that was coming.
I'm like, I'm not trying to freak out, but I'm like, what in the I called the hotel. I'm like, I know there was an issue with me not checking in or whatever, but I am coming today. I'm going to be there in a few hours. Can you please just like uncancel the cancellation? Can you redo the cancellation, right? They was all like, oh, I'm sorry. They were like, first off, they was acting real slow. I was like, okay, well, what is your confirmation? Because you sent the confirmation email and the pin, and I needed a whole bunch of information. They're like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, sir, that room is not available anymore. I'm like, how is that room not available anymore? Y'all just canceled it like 30 minutes ago. How was that? And it was a nice room, king size bed, everything. It was a nice room because I got it way before. So I'm all like, how's that room not available? I'm sorry, sir, that room's not available. And I'm all like, I need a room now. Like, oh, is there any other room that's like similar to that room? There's like, yeah, there's one. It's not a king size, it's 2 queens. I'm like, oh, okay, well, whatever.
Been there. I've been there.
Now, I paid $550 originally for the hotel room.
Jeez.
Okay, and that was on the 7th. They canceled it, and then I'm all like, okay, well, what about the money? They was like, okay, well, we sent the money back to Booking.com. They sent keep in mind, the money back to Booking.com. Okay, so they all like, well, now Booking.com has to refund you. I need a flight. I need a hotel because the second I get off my plane, I want to be going to my hotel room. I'm not trying to be looking for a hotel. Leave Chicago, I need a hotel. So I'm all like, okay, I had to listen. I had to pay another $550 for a hotel room. Okay, right sitting there on the spot. And I haven't gotten
I know, right?
my hotel from the previous time that they canceled me.
That's $1,100.
Keep that
For a
in
hotel
mind.
room, I be thinking $135 is expensive. He had a stack.
I was gonna go out, gonna kind of see some stuff. I was thinking about getting a.
You had to have at least a G. They charged him $525 twice, $510 twice.
That's my whole budget. That would crush me, bro. I'm serious. I'd be out. I travel a lot. And if I can get one for $85 in a ratty neighborhood, I'll be like, thanking God. But sometimes, you know, where you are, $135, I bite the bullet.
Yeah.
$550 twice? How you living, bro? I couldn't pull that off. I'd be sleeping in the car or fucking on a bench somewhere. I couldn't afford that shit.
Right, yeah, same here. But continue.
A rental car and then starting to drive around a little bit. Me having to book another hotel room the day of and then have to downgrade because when you book ahead of time, you get better options. Then 4 options. And I'm like, and I chose the best option, the closest to what I originally wanted. Because when I go out of town, I want a decent hotel. I'm not trying to stay at no like little. This is my first time in LA. My first time in California. I want to have a nice hotel, so I paid $100. I paid $550 for the hotel. So y'all know, get on the flight, 12 Years a Slave, all of that. We get there, right? Bags went through all of that. Now I'm on the way to the hotel. When I get to the hotel, I'm trying to check in. Now, what a mistake I realized when I was on the plane, because I have 2 different bank accounts. I paid the hotel for the hotel room with a different bank account, with the wrong bank account, because that's the bank account I use to like pay my bills and stuff like that. That's not like I didn't have too much on that bank account. So I'm all like, can I pay with 2 different accounts? They was like, ultimately, they was like, no, sir, we can't do that. They can't do that, right? So I'm like, okay, well, what are we gonna do now? The man, he was very polite. He was an older white man. He was very polite, but it was a little weird how he was saying what he was saying. It was very weird because I checked my bank account and they had took $218. The hotel took $218 out of the bank account. So when I get there, I'm all like, okay, well, can I pay the rest on a different account? They're like, no, you have to.
Because that would have been like a split payment.
They took the 2 something though. It's interesting. So now what do they do? I'm curious.
Apparently, now I guess I made a mistake. The $550 was just for the hotel. Then I have to pay an extra $100 for the damage fees. Now I thought that all of the total price, because when they said total price, I'm thinking that's the total price. I'm thinking that's including the damage fees that you have to pay. Now when you pay that, if you want damage done, you'll get that back. But ultimately, that's $650. So like, hey, can I? You know, if y'all already took $218, let me just pay the rest on a different card. He's wording real weird like. It's very weird how he's wording it because he's all like, okay, it took $218 off, but that's just for the first night. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, that's weird. Now I don't really do hotels that often. I normally get Airbnb, but so I'm like, okay, I guess. And then he's all like, okay, so the total is $650. And I'm like, okay. So what do I have to, I'm like, okay, so like all things included, what do I have to pay now? And he kept saying, oh, the total is $650. I'm like, Yeah, but on my bank, I'm like, on my bank account, it said you took $218 off.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. He was like, yeah, we took that off, but that's for the first night. So now, but the total for everything is $650.
Damn.
I'm like,
that's why it's so expensive. We stay multiple nights.
$650 minus the 218. Okay, so what do I have to pay now? What do I have to pay left? Okay, what's left? Oh, this is this much. I'm like, okay. It was real weird how he was working. It was almost like he wanted me to pay an extra $650 plus the $218 that I already had paid.
Yeah.
So, couldn't do that. Couldn't use a different card. So I'm all like, oh my God. And I don't have nothing but like $100 in cash. No, not even that. I had like $60 in cash. Look, it was. And that the whole trip was crazy. And that's not even the craziest part. Okay. So I go to their ATM. I'm all like, what I have to do, I have to go to their ATM, take some money from one bank account, take that, go to another ATM, deposit that, and then come back and pay for it. I'm like, sir, okay, give me the room. Just give me the room for one night. Because he said, hey, I can give you the room for this night, but then you're going to have to, that's only for tonight. I'm all like, okay. I said, change the room for one night. Let me go to my room. Let me put my bags down. Then let me go to the ATM, take the money off, deposit the money in other accounts, and then pay for the rest of the room. He says, okay. I go there. Now, their ATM, the hotel ATM, only allows you to take $200 of cash off.
I knew that was coming.
$200 of cash, plus the little bit of cash I had for my wallet.
Hold on, Joe Cool. Lady Chase joining us.
All right. I can't see it. Take the comment down. No, I still can't see it.
Here we are.
Hey, baby, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Seduction Doll, aka Lady. All right.
Yeah, Lady Chase not in the best condition right now. Joe Cool.
Sorry to hear that. Prayers, baby.
Thank you.
Can I ask? It's some type of bug going around that's been knocking everybody down for 2, 3, 4 days. Can I ask you? Is it?
I blew my knee out.
Oh, poor baby. My girl blew hers out running from a cricket.
Yeah.
Just recently, I had to take care of her for a few weeks in Colorado. Oh, baby.
I blew both of them. It seems like I blew both of them.
Oh, yeah. Poor baby. I hope you got somebody there.
No, I'm going to go to the hospital here shortly.
Yeah, you got nobody taking care of you?
No.
Oh, Roto. All right. I didn't mean to sidetrack the conversation.
Carry on.
Yeah, so we were playing a video from Afro Elite about his trip to the Hidden History Museum.
Do you know who he is and you know about the Hidden Museum history? You probably know all of that shit.
Yeah, I'm already over it. I've already known about the history museum like all week and a half ago.
I bet.
Yeah.
I'm getting enlightened. I told my man I didn't know who the guys were he was talking about. He looked at me like, what? So I'm trying to catch up, baby.
Yeah. Carry on, Jesse.
Went to the ATM, deposit that money, went back for the rest of the room. So now my room's paid for finally. Okay. Thank you, the new Jordan era. I appreciate the $5 super chat, right? It says, drop in to show support on your channel. I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate your support. What's the name of the name of the hotel? Was Hotel Inn. It was Holiday Inn, something. Holiday Inn. It was Holiday Inn. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So I am exhausted. Okay. I get to the hotel. I take a shower. The hotel's decent. It wasn't as good as what I originally but it's decent. I get to the shower. I'm damn near bucking my eyes when I'm the hot one. Oh my God! Thank you, Lord. I'm cool. Everything is cool. I turn on the TV. Ain't really nothing to watch. I'm like, okay, whatever. I go to my book bag.
No.
To get my, I'm like, I'm gonna see if I can watch something on like Netflix or whatever the case.
No.
And my laptop is missing.
Oh, yeah,
my laptop is not in my book bag at all.
That's a horror story.
Yeah.
Did I leave it at the house? I'm praying I left it at the house. Now, mind you, I never let my book bag out of my sight. So I'm like, I'm thinking I must have left it at the house. And then I remember what I said, pay attention. I remembered that the TSA agent said that they took my book bag out of the line because there was a laptop in the book bag.
That's right.
So I'm thinking like, damn, they didn't put my laptop back in the book bag. So I'm sitting there, but my charges in there, that's how I knew I bought it, because my charges in there, all of the stuff I use for my laptop is in there, but my laptop. So I'm like, okay, I'm trying to call. Everything is closed. Now, mind you, it's like 12 o'clock. It was like 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, okay? And that's in Los Angeles. It's a 2-hour differential. So it's like 3 o'clock in the morning in Chicago. So nobody's picking up. I'm leaving emails. Now, I know where my laptop is, because I know I remember what the guy looks like who told me that they took my laptop out. So I'm giving this long paragraph email. I'm all like, okay, I was at this date, at this terminal, at this time, when I went through the TSA agent who looked like this. This was his age. This was the color of his hair. This was every single detail. I'm like, this is what the laptop looks like. And when that happened, I didn't get the laptop put back in the bag. I'm like, oh, and I couldn't tell nobody. I could not tell nobody, because people was asking me, how's the flight? How's the trip? Couldn't tell nobody. Why I did not tell anybody how the flight was going so far is because y'all good people. And I knew you guys would have wanted to help. I knew if I told certain people that they would have been hitting my cash app up trying to help me, and I would have appreciated that. But I had everything under control. I said I will tell everybody every little thing after I fix everything. When I fix it, I'll tell you guys. But I'm not going to tell you guys before I fix it, because I know that if you guys hear it, like, damn, man, I'm having a hard time, a lot of y'all would hit the cash app, which I would appreciate, but I don't want y'all to hit the cash app because I'm struggling. You know, hit the cash app just out of support. That's it. So I didn't say nothing to nobody. I go to sleep. I'm tired. I wake up. I'm calling. That's pretty much the whole. People calling me. I'm like, no, I can't, because I'm on hold. I'm trying to call, and they giving me the runaround. I'm calling the airport. I called the airport. I'm all like, hey, is there a lost and found, something like that? And we all, okay, well, where did you lose it? I'm like, well, somebody took it out of my bag. I know where it is. They're like, oh, so we was TSA, so you gotta. But listen, don't slow down. Let me take a drink. Listen, I took American Airlines was American Airlines. Yep, that's the one I took. Okay, so they was all like, okay, we gotta. I called them. Listen, my phone. So many numbers. I'm Googling. I'm calling. I called O'Hare Airport. Told them the situation. I only talked to one person, and then they was like, okay, well now you have to talk to TSA. So I called TSA, and they was like, okay, well what department and everything? Called and they said they were like, okay, well you because apparently in the airport there's not one big TSA. It's not like there's a TSA that works for American Airlines or O'Hare. Apparently, each airline has their own TSA and their own lost and found. So they all like, okay, well, you call TSA, you have to call American Airlines TSA. Call them, no answer. I'm calling. I called them, no answer. I called the police. I'm all like, hey, the local police. I'm like, hey, I just want to document that my laptop has been taken out of my bag by a TSA agent. Okay. I'm sending emails. I'm calling. Nobody's picking up. They send me to run around. I got to talk to the TSA. Then I got to talk to American Airlines. Then I got to talk to Lost and Found TSA American Airlines. I got to send this email. Then it's thank you. Got your email. Then it's whoa. But I'm cool. You know, I'm relaxed because all of this happened Saturday morning. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna calm down. I'm gonna relax myself. Because I want to be in a good mood when I go to the museum. All right? I want to be in a good mood. So I made my way to the museum. I got the Uber, went to the museum, right? Let me find this. Because I'm about to play for you guys the highlights, and that's why I made the video. We got trolls in the chat. Can Namaz get rid of them? I don't see the trolls, but can Namaz get rid of them? So, right, went to the museum. Line outside the door. When the Uber pulled up, there's a line outside the door. Like, I'm like, damn, like they were stretching a block. There was a line outside the door. Okay. A lot of people trying to buy tickets at the door, and they had to get turned away. I remember Tariq said that in his broadcast. A lot of people got to get turned away because there was a line outside the door, and a lot of them didn't have tickets till that time. So let me show you guys the clip. I get in, I show them my ticket. Trying to wait for this ad to go. Okay. Showed them my ticket. Pull this up. Share screen. Okay. You guys can see it. Something like that. All right. So I'm not going to play it like this because this. Well, the thing will get a straight last time. So I might turn the sound on, but it was literally jam packed. It was so, and that was I showed up like 10 minutes, 10 or 20 minutes into the opening because the opening started at 4:00 LA time. So I got there at like 4:20. It wasn't even 4:30, and the place was jam packed. I'm like, damn. The security was really nice, and I like that too. The security was nice because a lot of times security, they have to, because they want to be tough and intimidating, so they kind of become very unwelcoming and kind of rude almost. But they were very friendly. They were nice. Everybody was positive, lovely. Everybody was looking good. Everybody was complimenting me on how I look. And like, man, how come you look so handsome? And I got a lot of compliments. Okay. I'm there. Let me show you guys the clip. Let me show it now without any further ado if you haven't seen it already, right? That's the opening. This is when I just got there, okay? When I just got there, this is quick. Listen, okay, hold on. Let me pause it because this is just a little bit. Listen, okay. So when I get there, right, Tariq, was, he was there, and it was like this backdrop with the hidden, like the logo of the Hidden History Museum, and everybody was like standing there. There was like paparazzi there taking pictures. I think it was like a news channel there or whatever, taking pictures. Everybody was taking pictures. Now, Tariq's office is like somewhere on, like off to the back, right? People was getting their drinks, talking, mingling. I met Sister Nicey Girl. Shout out to Nicey Girl. I met Wani. As I'm talking, I got people coming up to me. They was all like, "Hey, I don't want to be like rude or anything, but are you Afro Elite?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Afro Elite." I'm like, "Brother, thank you very much for what you do. I watch your channel. I follow you. You're much supported, much love, man. Thank you for what you do." So everybody, it was nice to meet people. I was talking to people. There was so many people I was talking to. Positive vibe. Everybody loved it. Everybody was having a great time. The music was good. The sites. I was trying to take videos of like the artifacts and things like that, as everybody was getting their drinks and mingling and all that stuff. Listen, when I tell you guys, Tariq was in his office, I guess, handling business every single time, because there was people like, because his office is like, there's a door and then his office is right behind him. So people are kind of around, because the bar section is kind of close to his office. So people are just hovering around his office door. I'm literally telling you, people are hovering around his office door. And the second anytime he popped out, they're like, Tariq, take a picture with me, I'm like, they hovered him anytime he popped out. This man was like such a damn celebrity. It was crazy. I needed to get my picture because I was too busy to get my picture at the rally, so I'd be damned if I didn't get my picture. I had to get my picture, okay? So after I got my picture, I was just kind of cool. I'm like, okay, I'll chop it up with Tariq a little bit later. I ain't going to let him, do too much. Like, I ain't going to be all like that. Listen, there was a couple of times because Dr. Kaba came, and then everybody was like, "Oh, Dr. Kaba, how you doing?" Everybody was swarming him. Like, this man literally had a crowd. As he was walking, the crowd was like walking with him. The crowd was following him as he was walking, right? Every time when that Tariq came out, he talked to Dr. Kaba. He went in, and so often, and this was real early into the event, right? So often, Tariq literally, he would open the door and he would pop his head out. I'm telling you, Tariq would open the door and pop his head out just to kind of scan and make sure everything was cool and talk to security. The second Tariq popped his head out, people were like, "Oh, there's Tariq," and they ran. I'm like, "Oh my God, like, this can't get a break." This man literally could not get a break. The only time he had any bit of chance to himself was when he was in his office and he had the security guard by his office. Okay. Eventually he steps out and he goes on Instagram Live, and that's where this clip came in. All right. Now this was after we took the picture already. Let me show you guys. All right. Everybody's looking good. I'm really going to take more pictures or more videos. Eventually, the food came. Now, let me pause this for a second. So the food came. I was in the bathroom. I came out. The food that came, it was in like the back. It was like a big tent outside in the back area, lying long for the food. I'm like, what is going on? I'm seeing, because it was like a ramp. I'm seeing people come down the ramp with plates good looking place. So I'm like, okay, let me get in line. As I'm in line, people looking back, they're like, is that Afro Elite? I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm Afro Elite. They're like, oh. So I'm talking to people in the line, I'm chopping it up with people in the line. I finally get to the food. There was a lot of food options. One thing that surprised me though is there was I think a couple trays of vegan spaghetti. Now, as you guys know, I'm not a vegan. I'm not opposed to eating vegan food, though. I will eat some vegan food sometimes, but I'm looking at it like, I don't know. It looked kind of good. It looked kind of good. I'll try some vegan spaghetti. It was really good. I was surprised by how good that spaghetti was. I don't know where he got it from, but that vegan spaghetti was good. That vegan spaghetti was really, really good. So I'm eating my food. I'm talking to the sister. It was a group of people. We're talking, right? I'm talking to the sister, and that's the sister that bought Tariq the cobbler. She has a website, Cobbler Queens, and cobbler is spelled with a K. Let me see if I can put it in the chat.
Oh God, that cobbler, she charging like $125 for a family pack. Like, I went to the website and everything. It is real expensive.
Hold on, let me see if I can check this.
That's crazy.
Okay, let me spell it. Hold on. Let me see if I can. I don't remember how to spell it actually. Let me see. It's called Cobbler Queens. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna put it up. I'm gonna put it up for you guys. Y'all know what it was. Let me see. Where was it? I can't find it right now. Let me see. Okay, there it is. K-O.
Yeah, she did watch the video.
We're gonna mention her. Her stuff looked really good. Her stuff really did look good. And she bought some special for Tariq that she said she hasn't sold yet. It's not on the thing. Yeah, and then it's K.
Jesse.
Yeah.
And that's Cobbler Queens.
You need to watch this whole video.
Not the whole. I just wanted to get to the Hidden History Museum.
Yeah, I want you. Now I have a thirst for the Hidden History Museum. I want to know who this cat elite is. Yeah, now I'm fucking interested.
Good.
That and Instagram. Okay, yeah, exactly. This is Instagram. Y'all can check that out. It's on Instagram. Thank you, Iron Will and Nikki. So I'm chopping it up with them, and they was all like, people kept looking at me. They was all like, what is your name? I'm like, well, my name is James, but a lot of people might know me by Afro Elite. They're like, oh, you're Afro. I know you look so. Even if they couldn't see the picture, I'm like, you're the guy who's on the Twitter Spaces. I'm all like, yep, that's me. So then everybody's like, is Torian building? Is Torian here? Because everybody was like, wow, is Torian here? I'm all like, nah, Torian's not here. I'm like, okay, who else from YouTube is here? So people was asking me, people asked me directly about a bunch of people from YouTube. I'm all like, okay, oh, you're here? People asked about you at the museum. The second I said I'm Afro Elite, they was all like, is Torian here? I'm like, nah, he couldn't make it or something. I guess he was not here. Oh man, that's unfortunate.
He had $1,200 for a hotel.
Yeah, oh my God.
And like, okay, so how did you get started with the youth? People ask me how I got started. You would have felt the same way at the rally. The same way you felt at the rally with people like, Torian, take a picture with. You would have felt that way, Torian. Because people was asking me about, the second they found out who I was, they were like, where's Torian? So it was cool. It was cool. So we were like, okay, so how does like the YouTube thing work? Do all YouTubers like know each other? People ask me, do all the YouTubers like know each other? Do you guys have like a chat room? Do you guys talk? And I'm like, well, we're all for the most part familiar with each other, even if we haven't like worked together as much, but we're very familiar with each other. We have a group chat, so you know, sometimes when we do collabs or something like that, send links. We do, you know, we work on that. But all of us, we follow each other, so we're all you know, we all stay in contact. And they was like, "Do you know Lisa Cabrero?" I'm like, "Yeah, I follow Lisa Cabrero." Now I don't know if Lisa Cabrero. I'm sure she does know of me, but I don't know if she like watches the YouTube channel. But I know Lisa. They're like, you know him? Do you know him? I'm like, yeah, I know him. I know him. We talk and everything. So everybody was like, as like, like behind the YouTube curtain, there's like a YouTube meeting. They think that there's like a table, like you know how like the Justice League or something like that. They got a table. They think all YouTubers gather up for the YouTube meetings. I'm like, kind of to a degree that.
I feel like that sometimes with me.
Especially if you're in the same state, you always meet up.
Just like that with me, just outside.
There, she shouted to her. I only took a little bit of it.
Where's the mayor?
I only took a little bit of it. And this is what I had. She shouted out Tariq. They made some jokes. Everybody was laughing, funny. Then Tariq got up there. He introduced Dr. Kaba. Dr. Kaba had powerful wisdom to say.
I bet he did.
Mansa Musa was Jason Blacc and Professor Black Truth there. I've never met them, so I don't know what they look like.
All right, if I could ask, can you put me up on some of these people, these things, and all of that stuff?
This is the new Black media. The new Black media, so like it's the complete opposite of the old Black media. So everything.
Really, the new Black media. Show me examples. What do they do?
So they produce content like this. Black empowerment. Everything is Black.
But this wouldn't be his normal content. What would he normally be talking about? This is a trip and it's beautiful and blah blah. Normally, what is the content he'd be posting on YouTube?
Afro, political commentary.
Okay.
He might touch on like some music stuff.
I saw a drum machine in there. Yeah.
But besides that, I haven't been following him too long. The rally was last November.
Do you know if this was when the museum opened?
The museum opened last week.
And he was there on the opening, because with all this shit going on, it looks like he was there at the premiere.
Yeah, this is the premiere.
In LA. I live in Chicago and I've been to LA and I've been on the planes and the fucked up weather. I'm there with the whole fucking story, bro.
Yeah. I know you are. You get around. So he's showcasing the Hidden History Museum. So this is the premiere opening that he attended along with several other people. So the new Black media, it's a whole bunch of us. I used to have a whole list of all the people I followed. I've lost count now. Probably like 100 YouTube channels. That's all.
I need some of that in my life, bro. I swear. I didn't know that was even on YouTube. And I live on YouTube for 3 years now.
Yeah. So check out Professor Black Truth.
Tell me my other phone.
Jason Blacc, TBA, and Victor Dillard. And you gotta fuck with Phil Scott.
You got anybody in here who could post those links in the chat? I could just snatch them out the chat. That'd make my life easier.
Lady Che, can you do that?
What?
Can you post some of the links of these channels that you guys like, Lady Che?
No, I'll think about it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Like we have a daily diet of new Black media. Joe Cool.
What was the first cat? Afro Elite?
Yeah, Afro Elite. Yeah, He ain't been around too long.
Let's see, you got 4,000, man. I'm telling you, when you reach 4,000, you get that first sense of power. I tell everybody this. There's a magic number. Watch, there are a few of them. 4,000 changes you. You become powerful. It's weird, Joe. 4,000.
What's the code to crack?
What's the code to cracking YouTube?
Yeah.
I would say
Doesn't
engagement
matter.
with your audience is key. That's how everybody
Algorithm.
gets. Yeah, those things as well. But if you want to be where people keep coming back and watching you, you have to be engaging them personally. That guy who takes the time to acknowledge the chat has did 10 times more for himself than the guy who did it. The guy who be like, hey, Susie, glad you came and so and so. Yeah, Susie, I remember you said that about so and so. That was very smart. Now that person stays there forever. People don't rotate in and out. The guy who takes the time to acknowledge that shit, every comment, don't just throw a heart or a thumbs up. You engage that person. You have a good point. However, do that shit for 6 months and then stick your head up, bro.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. All right, I'm gonna go back to the video.
All right, I just subbed that, bro.
Oh yeah, please do. So it's a whole list of
anybody you catch one, I'm down.
I have a whole list, but those are good starters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got right now. Those are the ones I stick with.
No, I don't know what these other ones like. So she might have been there. They all might have been there. I don't know.
Shout out to
okay,
these,
thank you. Black Truth.
So much for having the courage, for having the vision to bring our history to the public. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to bring our brother up who's in the movie. This is my master teacher, your master teacher. I don't do movies without this brother. He's so I always said that this brother here is the heart of the Hidden Color series. Ladies and gentlemen, I got you. Got to have y'all give a nice round of applause. Brother Kava. Beautiful vibe, y'all. Everybody having a great time. Phenomenal. Now,
I can't understand a word.
I don't know what the sound was.
it was Tariq introducing Kaba on stage at the Hidden History Museum.
Okay. Which one is who?
I wish.
So this is Tariq is on the left, and on the right, Kaba.
Tariq is the guy who was in the office. He said when he stick his head out, everybody was crowding him.
Yeah.
And this is the guy he introduced. Yeah, so this is big shit going on here.
Yeah.
I would have recorded the entire thing. I wish I would have recorded the whole thing because what he said was funny. It floored me, honestly, what he had to say. But if you listen closely, there's this like creak sound. Like somebody's like slowly opening the old doors, like where's that sound coming from? I didn't know where that was coming from.
I've been there.
Like small little bits and pieces of that. I wanted to record, but that sound just wouldn't go, and it was so loud. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna record a couple minutes.
I've been there, bro. You can't use the video because the audio is so fucking irritating. I've been there.
Yeah.
Foundation, Blacc.
I hear it too. Now that he mentioned it, I hear it.
Oh yeah.
I'm frustrated. I can't understand a word this man is saying.
He's basically talking about that everybody has an African origin.
Right on.
We are the original people of the whole planet.
Right on. You know, they just had I just saw somewhere on a short where they say that the original Eve that they found over there in Africa, uh, I don't know if it was 99 point something percent of everyone can be traced back to this one black chick in Africa. And it just came out a few days ago. I've been stinking all my white buddies with it just for the fun of it, trolls. There was a chick who put the video out. She's like, anybody who's, doing racism, doing the racist bullshit, listen, we all come from the same place, blah, blah, blah. Now they've proven it through DNA. So be nice, because someone who looks like me is your mom. I'm like, damn, bro. A big black girl said that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, they got a mayoral candidate forum going on right now. I just got a text message about it. But mine's is later in the month. They had to split us up because there's so many people running.
The base of the human family is African. And then Africans get their show together, then they took it on. Okay, all right. So y'all already saw the pictures. Let's take pictures with a lot of people.
Can I see the older guy talk on one of his vids where I can hear him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember his YouTube channel off the top of my head, but I'm sure he has one. And
Can you play something that you like of his?
Oh man, I like everything of his. So,
Pick one that you like, man. That's gonna hit me. I watch Police. I could pick some good ones if I wanted to suggest something to you.
well, he's a historian, so he's talking historical facts.
Yes, I'm down with that. I'm saying you being a historian yourself, you're the guy. Tell me what's good. You could show me. I'm the right guy. If you want to know about cop watching, I could point you in the right direction with quality shit. I wouldn't point you to no bullshit. I'm telling you the shit that struck you about this dude. Obviously, I
Well,
can see,
um,
you can see what's going on here, man.
he was in the whole Hidden Color series. There's a whole documentary series called
All
Hidden
right,
Color,
I like it.
and
Yeah, I like seeing it on there.
it's been around for about 10 years now, and it's on
Hidden
like
colors.
seventh, eighth installment now.
Right,
Um,
and the Hidden History Museum. I see. All right.
so here's some
This is
old.
so they specialize in our hidden history. I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dr. Cobb has been around for at least 30 years.
Wow, man. You know what? I just stopped selling drugs and running the street about 5 years ago, and using drugs. I cleaned up and all that shit. And a lot of these philosophies and shit, I am just learning and new to, man. I just saw a fucking ocean for the first time about 3, 4 years ago. Just left the neighborhood, just running to all these different people with these different philosophies. I feel like a kid in this shit. Certainly the hidden history, and I read anything, man, and I don't know nothing about this, and I stay on YouTube.
Well, as the great Nellie Phillips puts it, I'm still learning.
Yeah,
You know,
right on, right.
and I've been listening to this for about 8 9 years now.
All right. So the
Almost.
hidden history. When I think of that, I think of a couple things. I think about all the black people who were present in the U.S. before slavery. They keep that hidden, and I
Yep.
think about how the Greeks and Alexandria and all of those cats got credit for all the Egyptian ideas when they conquered Egypt and stole the library. I think of that shit.
Well, it's really Kemet, and yeah,
I go for that. Yeah.
I've been following it. Like I have a whole organization out here in Denver called Sankofa, and all we did was
Mhm.
study our history. It was about 20 30 of us. That's all we would do was study our history and have events. We have scholars like Kaba and Rashidi
Yeah.
and Sudi, Sar Sut and Seti. We have all them come out to Denver and do talks and stuff. So we've been doing this for about almost 10 years now.
All right. Show me somebody who's going to enlighten me to something.
Oh, you want to see Kaba? So this is Kaba's old videos. He changed his name, but this one will
All
be.
right. All right. The origins of white folks in the human race.
We don't care who likes it or not, as long as we know it's the truth. As long as we know it's the truth. Some people scared to deal with this right here. The nature of the European, of the white man. Where do he come from? And how was he created? You don't understand.
Well, let's look at the work of Charles Finch, Francis Press Wilson, Dr. Richard King, Dr. Carol Barnes. But more than that, let's go to biology and let's go to science. And let's look at the human organism. And let's look at the role.
Human organism.
Did it freeze up? Oh, I paused it. Sorry.
Yeah.
That the sun plays alive with the human organism. And let's look at an organism that is born in a very hot climate, like Mosher's Law. Mosher's Law says for an entity to be able to survive as organic life, it has to be born in a warm and temperate zone. In this warm
It's logical.
the human family born in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania is born, it nurtures itself, it educates itself. It begins to eat better. When it eats better, it thinks better. When it thinks better, it eats better. But in its reproduction, it reproduces itself in such numbers that now it's too crowded. So the human family starts to move. They move
Of
north,
course.
they move northwest, they move over into Eurasia, into Asia. Dr. Sheikh Anta Diop, Civilizational Barbarism Part 1, talks about the development of the African that moves out of Africa into Europe and then moves into north of the 51st parallel, which literally would cut Ireland in half, it cuts England in half, it goes across Germany, Holland, straight across Asia. When you look at a map, there's a mountain that goes from one side to the other side that is almost like a polar cap that locks anyone in the 51st parallel in. There are 4 ice ages. There's the Gunz Ice Age, Mindel, Riss, and Worm. We don't worry about the first 3 according to Dr. Diop. We only worry about the last one because that's when the human family had.
So you got to know. Do you know any of these people he's mentioning?
I don't, but these concepts are well known to science, and I agree with him 1,000% that science would back him up on everything he's saying so far.
Moved and migrated into this part of the world. Ice age hits. Temperatures dip down into 800 degrees below zero, sometimes 400 degrees below zero, and it lasts for generations, for thousands of years. There are generations of Africans that never saw the sun. It was only a mythological figure. It was at its best what it looks like on a cloudy day. This African, being born in this area, goes in the caves and puts on clothes because it's cold, just like we do right now. When it's summertime, be out here and we're going to have tank top and shorts and everything else. Right now, we got all this on. The African finds himself in this cold region. It's extremely cold. In your skin, in your epidermis, you have 5 layers. You have what's called the stratum corneum, the stratum luciderm, the stratum granulosum, the stratum spinosum, and the stratum basale. In the bottom 2 layers, the basale and the spinosum, you have a biochemical known as 7-dehydrocholesterol. It sits in that epidermis, those parts of your epidermis. When the sun hits your skin, the light and heat energy is absorbed by this dark matter. It converts inactive D1, D2 into active D3. That is what is then shot throughout the entire organic body, and that's what begins to absorb calcium to bring the necessary things into existence for this human body to live. This dark complexion in the warm sunlight is natural suntan lotion, but in the cold, it stops the sunlight from getting in. So this human organism, black of skin, dark brown of skin, begins to depigment itself. Dr. Richard King says it takes 16 generations for a black person to become pale. So over all these years, this African now, in order to be able to derive the sunlight, begins to depigment itself. There is in your hair, in all of your hair follicles, there's a sebaceous gland. In the sebaceous gland, there is an oil known as the sebum. The sebum is released. They're little packets that explode in your skin, and it sends an oil up through your body. And in the scalp, in the heat, it protects the head from the harmful rays of the sun. Otherwise, you get scalp cancer. In Australia, in Melanesia, but all across the globe, children can be brought out looking like many different types, because that DNA structure deep within can always produce what's called the archetype. The archetype is the African. The African produced every form of human being on the planet, but no other form of human being can produce an African. Now, I'm saying, it's a good explanation of what's going on.
So far, you ain't said nothing but facts.
Is to deal with science. Get out of the emotional thing.
Right. That's all he's spitting is facts. That's what I said too. When I first
heard, nothing is even disputable so far.
I think this is Sarnetta. That's another brother you should check out. His name is Sarnetta. He got there's a whole conscious network here on a Black conscious network here on YouTube. And I've been tuned in.
But is that in dispute? Is somebody disputing this? How was this hidden? I thought that everybody thought this.
No, everybody does not think this. I wish they did, but everybody does not think this. And that's the first.
Science is exact, and you can follow it back into what we actually call, when you're looking at something, you can follow it so that it makes sense. When you get emotional, you begin to bring elements into the discussion that become opinion, and then opinions can be proven wrong. And then normally when an opinion is proven wrong, then someone's going to say everything you say is wrong. But if you stay scientific, if you look at the depigmentation process, and just look at us, the complexion that we are right now is not what we're going to look like in August. And we're going to get dark. No matter how dark you are, you're going to get darker in the presence of the sun. As you begin to go into the colder climate, you're going to lose that suntan. Now imagine this African entity over thousands of years never having warmth of the sunlight. So it's a constant depigmentation process that is going to create what is called in science the Cro-Magnon. But that's not the Eurasian we see today. The Eurasian we see today is after these Eurasians left the northern climate, after the warm glaciation ended and they began to come to the southern lands. They came back not only with a depigmented skin, they came back with what's known as a calcified pineal gland. A calcified pineal gland, a healthy pineal gland look like a grape. A calcified pineal gland look like a raisin. Okay, a raisin is all of the liquids sucked out of the grape. That's why it's called sun-dried. Okay, they came back with a warped mentality. That's like the raisin. Yeah. And yes, and they come back with this concept, right? And so what they do is they forbid themselves to ever mate with the archetype. The first thing all of them should have done was found the biggest, blackest person to mate in order to return back to the archetype. But what they did is they created.
You ain't lying.
That's funny. That they wanted to separate, bro. That shit you still see today. White folk want to separate.
Yeah, did
You know
know what they're doing in Jackson, Mississippi? They
what's
want to
that?
create an all white enclave, have their own white court, separate from the city. In Jackson, Mississippi is like 89.
No, I would love to see that shit fucking article, bro. Ah, oh man, I gotta, I could use that in my content.
Yeah, I can lead you to the right sources. That's I've been
Yeah,
following
man.
for a decade.
Fuck, fuck yeah. I'm gonna put that in Jackson, Mississippi.
Yeah, Jackson, Mississippi. There's a white mob wants to create their own white syndicate within the city of Jackson, where it's white only, and they have a separate court.
It's gonna be great. Thank you for this. It's just even if don't nothing come out of it directly, I just felt something open up on me. Um, I got to speak more on this shit. Mississippi Supreme Court Chief Justice vote to create white. Yeah, there's got to be it.
Mississippi, where we have a bill like this without history, where you say solving the problem is taking the vote away from black people. A white supermajority of the Mississippi House voted to create a separate court system and an expanded police force within the blackest city in America, Jackson. The author of House Bill 1020, Representative Trey Lamar, said the bill was designed to help make Jackson a safer place. Here's what's included in the bill. The white Chief Justice of the Mississippi Supreme Court would appoint 2 judges to oversee a new district within the city, one that includes all of Jackson's majority white neighborhoods, among other areas. The white state attorney general would appoint 4 prosecutors, a court clerk, and 4 public defenders for the new district. The white state public safety commissioner would oversee an expanded Capitol Police Force, run currently by a white chief. These appointments would occur in lieu of judges and prosecutors being elected by local residents. Only in Mississippi.
Holy hell. Holy hell.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm glad I got that in here. I can go back to my library and get that House bill number and look it up because I'm really aggravated with the fight that I fight is us versus the cops. We can't stand them niggas.
We want to defund, abolish, and punish the police around here.
Yeah, all right. But I don't believe the way to do that is just crush them out of existence. I think that's like having black versus white, left versus right. So I'm always trying to figure out a way to enlighten them and my audience.
Mm-hmm.
This right here, this would bring us together if they see, because my people, we all united. We hate cops. Generally speaking, if they was nice people, we'd love them. So I could use this and say, yeah, look, this is how they divide us, man. They still want to divide us from the white, black shit. Our opposition nowadays is the cops.
Well,
and,
the cops, the cops is that. Who do you think is funding the cops? And
politicians, and at the top of the list it would be corporations, but the politicians are paid off and they get the cops their orders directly nowadays. My mayor is top cop, your mayor is top cop.
Yeah. And
the police
I want to abolish the bad, but I can't because it's in the Denver Charter. We have to have a police. So I want to,
you say y'all want to get rid of them all together.
Yeah. I'm the only, they asked us, Joe Cool, they asked us on the stage, will we defund the police? I'm the only candidate out of all the people that was standing on that stage, which have been like 17 people at least. I was the only one that raised my hand and said I would defund the police.
Wow, undoubtedly defund them fucks, man. They get almost 50% of our budget right now. The entire city of Chicago works on half a budget because we get half the chop off top to the police. Most of that is for pensions and payoffs for their bad behavior.
Speaking of Chicago, what are your thoughts on Lori Lightfoot getting ousted?
I am so glad, man. Listen, I don't even believe in voting, and my dumb ass went and voted because it's a woman, because she's black, because she's gay. I just wanted something different. I don't even vote. I don't even believe in that bullshit. And I
Okay.
came out just to throw something that looks different in there, and it was the worst decision of my life. I feel like something has been lifted off my chest. Some of my guilt can go away. And now that she's gone, bro, that's how I feel about it.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of people that feel that way, but politics. You might not be into politics, but it's deep into you.
I gotta watch it and read about it. I hate it. I think it's a divisive tactic, but I gotta enlighten people, so I gotta watch a lot of nonsense.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's politics. It's not an election. It's a selection.
it's a selection, pre-selected, and you're not part of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When they
No.
get to you, they'll be picking. They pick 12 candidates. They whittle it down to the two they want, put them in front of you.
Yep.
Then you think, yeah, my vote counted. They
No.
could lose though, motherfucker.
Right. Like Lori Lightfoot just lost.
Right.
She was the first.
So
She was the first incumbent mayor in Chicago history to not be reelected in her first term in like 40 years.
since the 80s, bro.
Yeah, that's been like 40 years.
Yes. Yes. Our shit, and it's like super political here. 4 or 5 out of our last governors have been to prison. Remember the guy who tried to sell Obama's Senate seat and all that bullshit? It
Yeah,
is a daily. You remember the daily machine that I can't 50 years of dailies probably control this shit. It is still locked politically, mob, and all of that bullshit.
well, Chicago's a
Uh,
mob town. The mob,
yeah, it's
mob made Chicago big.
yeah, it's corrupt as fuck here.
But at the same time, it was founded by a black man.
Yes, I remember that. In fact, if you didn't say that Diego or something, I know his name. Normally, I know the cat's name.
Saber,
Uh,
Sable, Sable is part of it.
DeSable, DeSable. I don't know DeSable. That's his name, DeSable.
You
Yeah,
see,
but I don't know his first. I don't know
Sable.
if that's first. DeSable. I think it's pronounced. Here, let's ask Google. Hey Google, DeSable Museum.
According to Wikipedia, the Deuceable Black History Museum and Education Center, formerly the Deuceable Museum.
She's saying it horribly. She got the Deuceable. I don't know. I just want to know about
Jean Batista.
Baptiste DeSable. That's it. Baptiste DeSable. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he founded Chicago.
Mm.
Yeah,
We got a
definitely.
school, right?
Yep.
DeSable High School. When I was a kid, you know how we do the gang shit over here. We're
Uh,
from a different area, rival gang.
yeah.
We go through probably went to the museum or something with a bunch of other kids in that hood. And we're throwing up our gang signs everywhere.
Yeah.
We get back on the bus, they was waiting for us with bricks and shit. Joe, it was crazy, bro.
Yeah, I believe it. So the runoff is between Johnson, who's backed by the teachers union, and Valles, who's backed by the police.
Yeah. Paul Valles, I do a lot of, and since I was a kid, I've been doing activism here in Chicago. So I'm
Okay.
very familiar. I've met him a bunch of times and all of that. He became the school superintendent back then when I was fucking with him. And we didn't like him then. I think he'd be a horrible selection now. And me and him were intimate. We worked on shit together. I could tell you, he's all about the business, blow you off. You could tell he would rise through the ranks. He had no heart. He would rise through the ranks. I remember Harold Washington came and visited us in our high school, and I got the opposite vibe. This guy has heart.
Yeah. So
But for the
do you want me to finish that video of Kaba
not
or
or anything, no, show me something different, enlighten me to something else.
all right?
Another video that you like.
I gotta go to the next topic.
But that dude cold, I got him in the thing. And that shit you told me about Mississippi. I'm gonna get to work on that fucking today. I got a video that's doing so well. I've been afraid to post another video, man. This thing, fuck. I don't know, it's probably got like 300,000 views this week or something. And they just
Hey,
watching it off the charts. I'm scared to even post another vid. It might interrupt the algorithm or something, but I'm gonna get working on that and see how I can put it into the cop watch thing or separation thing. I am so tired of the separation mentality. I believe it at an atomic level, at a God level. We all, every individual, we make up one. I cannot hurt the guy on the other side of the planet. It'd be like chopping off my own finger. I literally believe that we are one. So I'm out
yeah,
every day to go ahead.
we are one. However, there are those that are not part of the collective. They don't want us.
Agreed.
They don't want a justice system. They want an injustice
Agreed.
system, and that is the global system of racism, white supremacy, and they want to keep that in full effect. And
That's
just
my problem. I try to argue that, but when you bring up that a big part of this system is you white racist, see, I'm getting upset. Is white racist mentality and all of that shit. Everybody, the white folks, suddenly back off. They can't talk about it. You bringing up the race issue. It's an integral part of this bullshit that's going on.
exactly, they hate to hear it. They hate to hear it from us. They'll hear it from their own people.
Yes,
Won't hear it from us.
agreed. Yeah, I try to enlighten my white buddies, and I tell them directly, you can say things I can't. That's why I'm always bringing up race, bro. Because
Right.
in my absence, I'm gonna want you to tell these people this. They don't hear it from me, man. Motherfuckers have an instant shut off. Oh, you played the race card. Like I can't talk about. I'm like, nigga, we sat up here and talked about Nazis, Israelis, the cats over there, the Russians, the Ukraines. But a motherfucker bring up black shit here in America, I'm fucking evil. We talked about the Holocaust, damn it, for 30 minutes, and I talk about fucking Rosa Parks. I'm a demon.
Mm. Good point.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna finish this video with Kaba, and then
All right.
was it on the Hidden History Museum. Gotta move to this reparations. Have you been following the reparations task force that's been going on in California the last 3 years?
I just heard about it. You could jump straight to it. I just heard about it, I think yesterday, where they want to give, it was like some money, like $500,000 to every black motherfucker in that area or something, in California or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Fuck. Yeah, I'll watch anything on that, and I'd like to hear your opinion.
All right, so moving along, Black family. The next topic is the reparations task force that's happening in California right now. They had a task force meeting. This is the first of
other state agencies and branches of California government to mitigate harm.
This was the first of many taking place the past year or so, and this one was on this past Friday and Saturday. So I'm gonna play some of the video from the Friday and part of the video from the Saturday. This sister right here, she laid it out beforehand. So do you want to hear from the sister, or do you want to hear from the people that called on the phone or in the audience?
What you think? Whatever you think.
Let's hear from the sister first.
All right.
So this is a
Fortune 500 companies.
just to give you some background. So Gavin Newsom, he passed this bill called AB 3121, which was a reparations proposal for so-called African Americans. We're not going by that moniker or term anymore. We are the foundational Black Americans. We are the descendants of chattel slavery, and we built this country. And we are owed a debt, and that debt will be paid in full. And that debt will be paid in full, and that amount is $100 trillion for past, present, and future atrocities. This United
Ooh.
States government, this corporation, continues to put our people through in 2023. So he put together this commission, and it's 9 members of this commission. Majority of them are Black, but some of them are not Black. Like there's a Japanese guy who his family got reparations from the Japanese being interned during World War II.
I remember that.
He's on there, and then there's some tethers, as we call them, some foreigners that they're the Caribbean or African that's on the panel, and they trying to railroad and delay the process. Now they had until this summer in June, but they done pushed it back a whole nother year. So they have to come up with this report, and it's a 500-page report. And if you ever find time, read it. I'm sure I can find a link to it. But it's a 500-page document outlining all the atrocities and the cost of
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
More the modern day shit, right? Because I have these arguments all the time, and their main argument is we didn't own slaves, which to me just screams ignorance, right? But that's the depth of ignorance that motherfuckers got to waddle through. So anything
they benefit from it. They still benefit from it,
and they continue it, in my opinion. It is still slighted. That cocaine more time than crack more time than powder cocaine. Everywhere you go, it's still in here.
Gave Obama hell for trying to change the disparity on that. It's still ridiculous.
Yes.
Still something like for every gram of crack you get 10 years or some shit. It's 10. It's 10 grams for cocaine. Like you get a completely different sentence if you have crack versus if you have cocaine.
Right. If you have a bag of crack, you probably had the same sentence if you got 10 grams of cocaine. The war on drugs itself, Nixon's buddy who came up with the idea in his room, it came out recently within the last few years and said how it was created.
You ever seen
the new Jim Crow? I might have read that, bro. I think I got that, man. It was years ago, though. I think I got that. I need to fucking reread it, make sure I got it or something, because I don't throw away no books.
Yeah, I read read that back in college.
Yeah.
And that sister is cold. She outlaid everything and how much is owed. And it's a failed war on drugs. And slavery never ended. Jim Crow never ended.
That Nixon shit, the guy, it might have been Ehrlicher who was with him, but they were trying to get rid of 2 people, the black radicals and the hippies that was out there protesting and all over the place. And what did they have in common? Weed. They said we put this up there with heroin, we can lock all these clowns up.
Yep.
All of that fucking damage was from some racist bullshit that still exists today. Now, you're worried about whether you're going to give us some bread or not. How about you undo this legislation that was selected to pick one race over another? Start there. You're unwilling to do that.
They enforce that. They pick and choose what they want to enforce.
Oh, yes. If it's some lily white shit, some guy downtown who has a problem walking his dog through the park, they're going to be like, in Chicago where they're paying $1 million for an apartment. They're going to be like, oh, we'll get that legislation changed as long as you bring a bag through the park. You can pick your bling. We love you, bling. We're going to get it taken care of. If they can get a bunch of niggas on the same shit, they're going to triple and make the law 3 times worse with an $80 fine every time you have your dog in the park and don't pick up the boo-boo. That's the way the fucking law works.
The law is only as good as its enforcement.
And we know that from what we're talking about here today, that there is at least a racist residue all over that shit, over the people who have to enforce it. They are, even, I don't give a fuck if you're the nicest cat in the world, even black motherfuckers nowadays are enforcers racist policies from beyond.
Tyree Nichols.
Yeah, right. Them all brothers. It ain't a race, motherfucker. It ain't a race thing.
No, it's definitely still a race thing. It's just more
Okay,
common.
I shouldn't have said that. I misspoke. But I just meant when it comes to the black and the blue, that blue line shit, the black motherfuckers have totally chosen sides.
Look at Christopher Donor.
Don't ring a
They
bell.
don't good cop, bad cop. If it's so many good cops, then why aren't they standing up against the bad cops?
It's not even a thing, right? I don't want to hear that one bad apple bullshit, because when I see him out there doing that bad act, there are 10 other so-called good cops whose duty it is to intervene when they see a wrong, doing nothing. Makes them bad cops.
They're either doing nothing or they're participating in the savagery.
Or even if they don't, in the cover up afterwards, their reports won't show that Bob acted wrong. And when Bob writes some bullshit, they gonna back him up. Yeah, he did reach for Bob gun. I can't bullshit you. You gonna fucking, you go from, you might not have kicked the guy like Bob did, but now you're suddenly backing his fucking lie. You're not a good guy. I want to hear it. If that was the case, if you just, did indiscriminately get rid of good guys and bad guys, just by numbers alone by now, you'd have got rid of so many cops in your own station. That shit would have been rooted out. Y'all suck. You want to come on the streets and tell me how to get rid of bad guys, but you can't even do it in your own fucking police station. You're not worthy to tell me what the fuck to do.
The culture of police is criminal. These are
The
slave
culture's
catchers.
criminal. That's right.
Catchers, patty rollers. Make sure your property stays with you. They protect and serve property and big money. That's who and they have their own fraternities and unions.
They are the modern day overseer, right?
Yes.
It's their job to keep the riffraff in line. Just because Master said so, right or wrong, this is our job. I'm just doing my job, whipping your ass out here, man. You got to pick faster. I'm just doing my job. Don't give me a hard time. I get paid to whip your ass. Fuck you.
It sounds like some Nazi Germany shit. I'm just doing my job.
Just following orders, bro. I was just following orders. Oh man, I watched that from time to time, that Nuremberg trial shit. Oh my God, the main guy, the cat who committed suicide, they were already on suicide watch. They think one of the guards brought him some poison in there. But by the end of the trial, they had people posted at every window looking in at all times because they didn't have cameras, apparently, CCTV, apparently. They had active motherfuckers looking in their windows. But the guy, the big guy, when showed the atrocities, and there's a bunch of them out there in the gallery, all these bad guys on trial sitting next to each other at the same time, all cameras on the one dude, the big wig, and they showing some of the stuff from when America liberated and the atrocities at Auschwitz and some of the other places that ain't coming to me. Salt, that one was really horrible. I think that's the name of it. The guy, turned away like, you're tactless or tasteless. Why would you show this? Like, it's their fault for showing that disgusting stuff. Don't show that. It was weird.
Remind you of the Arby Grave shit in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yes.
Remember when all that shit finally broke, and it was like they They had pictures of them humiliating the prisoners and shit.
Electrocuting them, putting dogs on them, putting women on them. You know, they ain't supposed to touch women, and all. They was just doing horrible shit, man.
And we got this
I remember.
motherfucker running for mayor named Andy. He looked like Mr. Clean, straight up neo-Nazi, talking about
Damn.
preserve a future for Denver. And he was in Iraq and Afghanistan. He was the intelligence officer. And he wears his damn army fatigue issue boots everywhere.
Now, if we catch like me and you that screams negative, oppressor, all that, that's the type of shit that bring me out of retirement, and I don't vote just to keep him out of office. Somebody else is going to vote for him because of that. He'll keep us safe.
He's the only Republican in the race.
Wow, he is extreme. Check that shit out.
Joe Cool. Denver hasn't had a Republican governor or a mayor in like since 60s, the early 60s, like 63
Probably,
or shit.
probably longer than that for Chicago as Google. Hey Google, when was the last time Chicago had a Republican mayor?
According to Wikipedia, William Hale Thompson, May 14, 1869 to March 19, 1944, was an American politician who served as mayor of Chicago from
44 was the last. Big Bill, they called him, was the last Republican in Chicago.
So that's what, during World War II?
Yes, that's during World War II.
Wow, so that's the last.
That's crazy.
Illinois was a red state. Yeah.
It would be, right? Illinois is massive. You could drive a 4-5 hours if you're driving north to south, and you'd still be in Illinois. And when you leave Chicago, 30 minutes after
57.
Let me see. I don't know what highway, north south. I don't know, and I drive. Well, it's a shame. I didn't put so many tens of thousands of miles on my. I just do what Google say, bro. I don't know what to tell you, man.
I think it's 57 north south from Chicago down past Peoria down to Champaign.
Yeah, and I would have ridden that like in the last couple years. God, countless times. Every time I leave Chicago, I go south, and you know I leave a lot. Usually I'm only here like 3 days out the month in Chicago. Usually I'm traveling. Before that I flew, so I feel dude. But I didn't want to lose that. That Chicago. What the fuck was last mayor in Chicago? I don't lost the thought about where we were talking about that.
Al Williams, and it was back in 44.
Big Bill, yeah, but I don't know where I was going. I was going to make a point. I don't remember, but it'll come to me or not. You know, I'm a fan of God. It'll come to me or not.
All right, let's get to the task force. So this is
I remember the north-south thing. I was going to say that once you're 30 minutes outside of Chicago and you can't hear that black radio station anymore, those other 4 hours are strictly white folks and religion and wheat fields, bro. We're the blue state, but it's only because Chicago is 3.5 million people.
Yeah. Ask Google, what is the current population of Chicago? I think you're right. Yeah. I think it's
3.4 or 1.14. Hey Google, what is the population of Chicago?
In 2021, the population of Chicago was 2,696,500.
Holy cow!
Oh,
that's crazy. It was up to 3.4 at one time. We do got a shit reputation nowadays, I guess. Hey Google, what's the population of Chicago in 2022?
According to Macro trends. The current metro area population of Chicago in 2023 is 8,937,000, a 0.4% increase from 2022. The metro area population of Chicago in 2022 was 8,901,000, a 0.27% increase from 2021.
All right. They're adding the suburbs, what we call the Chicago land area. When you hear white folks talking about they from Chicago, they're talking about the suburbs. They're adding those into here. We don't really do that. There, LaGrange and Dalton and all of that white. Yeah, I used to live in Chicago. And niggas in Chicago, we feel like, no, that's not Chicago, niggas. Y'all the suburbs.
Do you consider North Chicago, Waukegan? That's the suburbs.
Yeah, none of that shit would be Chicago if it ain't the west side, south side, or once you start going north, it's white people. Ain't no east side. That's downtown and the lake. Once you start going north, once you get past the Hispanics, them all white folks and rich motherfuckers, man. So we hardly claiming them, but technically, yes, they're still in Chicago.
Up toward Evanston.
Yeah, we wouldn't count that as Chicago. None of that stuff. Nah. Any of that shit. We don't count it. But everybody else does, though.
What about North Chicago?
That includes a lot, right? We have to include that shit. But if I'm being honest, once you go so far north, and it ain't that far, right? Half hour north and shit, you're still in the city. Those people start getting white and wealthy. Those are the cats who be jogging in the morning with the dogs and all. They really white when you get up far north. When I was a kid, if you had an apartment up north, you were thought of differently. He got money.
Oh, okay.
Mostly white folks, even the fucking the apartment builders, man. Yes, in fact, when I do this cop watch shit, I meet a lot of people when they come to Chicago. They see me in when I'm out of town, vice versa. And the people who live here, know here, or who visited me before, we'll do cop watching in Chicago. We'll be downtown and up north and shit like that. We don't go on the south side, west side, right? And then we'll be like, let's go by Joe's neighborhood. Niggas' dicks get hard in the car. It's different over there. Joe's neighborhood is different. Police are everywhere. And then, you sit out there. I film from the car and do this YouTube shit. In 5 minutes, you're going to see 9-10 police cars ride by. If you go up to North Chicago, if you see 1, 2, saying, wow, there's a car, like motherfuckers do on the YouTube. That was a cop. Here, you can't throw a rock without hitting the cop. They're all here.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That damn Vallis, he done vowed to put more police on the force.
Yeah, he's going to be one of those guys. He's evil as fuck, bro. Oh, man, I don't know. This shit, it seems like you can't win it. It seems so overwhelming. The
candidates in this race out here that they want to do the exact same shit, and they got TV commercials.
Damn, see, that's the problem. The enemy is just as organized and better funded than we are. Yeah. And they got a better propaganda machine, which is why I want to put that race shit in my YouTube channel somewhere. I need to propaganda my shit up.
Yeah.
I need to get more allies, man. It's really defeating the technology. It's not the person. Like the Bible say, your enemy is not man. You battle huge numbers of unseen spirits, of evil spirits in the unseen world. I want to release their minds the way mine was released. I was sheep before I started chasing police. Police roll up on me. I throw my hands up. Yeah, man, I was just coming from over there. We're headed over my auntie house. We're doing this. Here's my ID. I was sheep, and something opened my eyes. I want to be that catalyst to help other motherfuckers free their fucking minds. Now I will not complain. No man has authority over me, and you out your fucking mind.
My boy just went on. Oh, damn. All right, let's get to the reparations, and then the unhoused neighbor news and the unhoused neighbor sweeps. Somebody's calling me. Oh, another candidate. Damn, I can't take this call. Hey, Jim. Is it one of the candidates just hit me up?
I just figured I'd look up Vicky Dilbert while you were doing that. I think that was her name.
Not it's Revelations. Black Light Revelations.
Oh, I wasn't even close. All right. Vicky Dillard, Black Light Revelations. Black Light Revelations. All right.
Yeah, you're like Rob. But getting to this reparations, so this is the hearing that took place. So the sister's gonna give us a breakdown of what this is all about, and then we hear testimony from the people that attended or called in.
She got that magic.
Happened in the summer of
Yeah, that's Camilla Moore. She's on the task force that Gavin Newsom put together, and the other California State Assembly members.
When she served as a legislative intern in the California State Assembly for former Assemblywoman Shirley Weber, who's now the state of California's first African-American Secretary of State. During her 8-week internship, she researched and drafted ACR 130 and California's historic reparations bill, AB 3121. She served as a research and policy analyst for the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation in Washington, D.C., where she collaborated on the Hard to Count project, which was founded and spearheaded by Stacey Abrams. She also led the statewide movement to repeal Proposition 209 with the coalition of leaders. She is a graduate of UC Berkeley with a bachelor's degree in political science and an MBA candidate at Cornell Johnson School of Management. She resides in San Ramon, where she owns and operates coaching with MOLLC, a professional consultancy company. So Maureen Simmons will provide some welcoming remarks as one of the main or instrumental folks who created or helped to create this task force today. So welcome, Maureen Simmons. You have the floor.
Thank you so much, and good morning. Thank you to each and every one of you for being here today. Today marks one of the final public meetings the Reparations Task Force will hold anywhere in the state. This is indeed a historical moment, not only for the state of California, but in my opinion, America at large. But before we get started, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to Secretary of State, Dr. Shirley Weber, and her staff for challenging the status quo and daring to champion policies that impact Black lives. Without Shirley Weber's guidance and sponsorship of this bill, from the moment
I hate that shit, man, that they gotta tell every great every fucking body is before they can talk about the fucking subject, man. I hate the government do that shit. They sound like the government with that shit.
That's that ass kissing shit.
Yes, right. And this would not be possible. You ain't said nothing, did nothing yet, nigga.
Right. Exactly, Joker. I feel you.
Every time a police get up there and they be like, done killed somebody, or even killed their dog, they got 12 niggas up there and they kiss ass of each other ass for the first 10 minutes. And thank you for the investigation of the officer so-and-so. Without their abilities and his team, did I tell you he had a new daughter? Oh, I don't hear that shit.
You know, every time a cop opens his mouth, they're lying.
I do.
I would also like to thank Secretary Weber's former
She's still thinking niggas.
I share my desire to study reparations during my 8-week internship as the fellow.
Oh man, I'm trying to freeze up.
Yes. Yeah.
Student leader, future policymaker, but
Sometimes you just back it up 10 seconds, it'll catch up to itself.
wanted to see change. Thank you to Attorney Antonio Moore and Dr. Sandy Verity, who responded when I reached out seeking their insight and expert knowledge about the economic wealth gap in the early stages of my research. Special thank you to Chris Loxton, Tiffany Coral,
Lady,
Chad Brown, your chair, Kayla Moore, and Marcus Cunningham for your unwavering support and advocacy of AB 3121. You are the voices speaking for the voiceless. And thank
you can say this to the end.
It's hard for me to believe that almost 5 years ago, I sat in Secretary Weber.
I don't want to hear her no more, bro. I ain't gonna bullshit you, man. She's just doing a lot of ass kissing, bro. She ain't talking about nothing.
You will make a recommendation to the legislature outlining the redress for American descendants of slavery, the descendants of Black migrants who came to California and were enslaved by fraud and kidnapping. Chair Moore asked if I would give welcome remarks. I told her what I have told everyone who has asked me to give public remarks about my involvement in the development of AB 3121. I would be honored. But as I sat down to reflect upon what I might say, the gravity of this moment hit me, as it did in the early stages of poring over insurance records, looking for every piece of evidence I could find about California's complicity in slavery. But the detractors will say, an intern didn't write AB 3121.
Shut up.
I hear you. And to that, I will reply, you're right. I did not draft AB 3121 in 8 weeks.
All right, you wrote the motherfucker.
Because I'd already worked a few weeks before my meeting with Anthony about the goals and objectives.
Fuck Anthony, I don't care.
And though my formal research may have begun in June of 2019, my interest in the study of reparations happened when I was exposed to Representative John Conyers and HR 40 through this article.
Oh my God.
This is too political, bro.
She brought up motherfucking HR 40. That is a nothing
She said
burger.
about that's a nothing burger. She said about 3 interesting lines, and the rest have been. Do you know how much hard work I put into this when I battled my opponent John Stallworth in 1842? I don't hear that shit. Get to the meat. She is egotistical, bro.
Yeah. So this is the people that are there in person. They've been traveling the whole state of California every time there's a meeting. The same people keep showing up.
Impressive. Very impressive. California is huge.
What possible can be heard today. Thank you. Please go ahead. My name is Reggie Romaine from LA. I've been in the meeting since the 11th one. And I just asked everybody, can we all get along? Can we just stop coming here? Coming here, working on them, man. It's all gas, no break right now.
Cuz ain't no joke.
All this bickering.
He gonna talk about the prisons.
I got some solutions. Now listen. First of all, who in this crowd wants they 40 acres in their group?
He just snatched the mic off the thing.
Let's get some solutions to get this land. The money gonna come. But my solution is this with genocide. And I'm going back.
What crazy dog? He not holding the mic.
Prisons, they just destroyed us. They're not rehabilitating us. I didn't understand at the last meeting, Mr. Sawyer, you brought up the jails and then we brought up the contaminations and everything. What are you talking about us having it and renting it to somebody else? Or we gonna get it? Because we need to be agape love to our people. 3 a day is dying in the jails in the United States. This is gonna set an echo. Okay, we got second and third strikers. We leading in that. That means it's a black hole.
I told y'all my brother in 2011 passed away. My brother 4 years ago, first offense. For a manslaughter 311, he got 27 lives.
Black.
So that's a black hole for him. My solution is this. We need those jails that we freed up. That's only 300 acres apiece. California is 100 acres, 100 million acres. The government owns 45.5 million of these acres. Start breaking up some of that land so we can rehabilitate our people, so we can start, you know what I'm saying, bringing them back to community. We got to bring them back out of there. Or when they pass away, just let them be able to look that up and say, I died in front of some black people. So give us these jails. I beg you to give us these jails. They gave white folks 5 years.
I'm so sorry to cut you off, sir, in the middle of a sentence.
I'll be back.
That's right.
So I'll be back next time.
Everybody will be here. Okay, thank you so much. Next speaker, please.
Look at this cat.
I'm asking you to do something now, today.
That's Pops right there. That's great uncle right there.
Right.
In San Francisco. We need to stop that. That building was built for the black community. And now it's got an RP on it. My name is Kim Johnson. I'm a native San Franciscan. I'm representing myself and Black Wall Street and other organizations. I'm speaking specifically about the Fillmore Heritage Center.
Oh, it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy. When was the last time you were in Frisco, Joe Cool?
I didn't make it. I was down in, I run around California about 2 years ago now. And I was going up there to meet a friend, and he never emailed me or called me or texted me or whatever until I got miles up there. And I was like, I can't shoot because it's like 4 or 5 more hours to get to San Francisco than everything else. And I was like, I can't if he don't answer the fucking phone. I can't do it. And on the way back, I had turned around and drove another couple hours back. Then he calls or texts or whatever. And I'm like, dude, I can't do it. I can't turn around. I never made it up there.
Oh, okay. Well, the Fillmore district was a predominantly black district in San Francisco, and they done just the heck. When I was there in 2019, it was all lily white, like how parts of East Denver are looking. Like
yes, I know. I go out there, man, at 4 o'clock in the morning. I didn't even tell my friends what I'd be doing in the mornings. And I would go there because that's when they sweep the homeless. It's still dark outside. They put up gates and shit. And I couldn't help for a note. I was at one location for about a week straight. I got to know the cops and everybody. The assistant mayor wanted to meet me and all that. Man, I was making noise. But I couldn't help but notice right behind all these worst homeless shit were the greatest fucking apartments and condos being put up and already existed. The walkway for the water for the white folks to jog along the water park and shit. Yeah, them homeless, their days are numbered, bro.
Especially if these folks get in, that's talking about we're gonna pull a Eric Adams. Did you hear about what Eric Adams is doing in New York?
Don't ring a bell.
He's involuntarily committing homeless people.
Holy hell.
Either you go to a shelter or you go to jail. Those are the only two options.
I might have heard about that. Go to a shelter or go to jail. And where?
New York.
New York. I'm gonna just type that in and see what I get. New York. New York. Go to a shelter. Go to jail. That sounds like a fucking title right there. You should make a bid about that, bro.
Oh, I have. We covered it on previous episodes.
That's your title right there. Go to a shelter or go to jail. That's powerful. Here, my kid is up.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Men living in homeless shelter criticize migrants, blah, blah, blah. God. Conditions in New York shelters at near breaking point. No, committing, let me try this. Committing homeless. New York involuntarily committing homeless.
And Rikers Island is like, it needs to be
I can
committed.
imagine. Homeless in New York. Yeah, here we go. Listen to this.
Mental illness live out in the open, on the streets, and on subways, in danger and in need.
Oh, he's putting
We
like
see
we're
them
doing him
every
a
day,
favor.
and our city
Yeah,
workers are familiar with their stories. These New Yorkers and hundreds of others like
but he's a
them
former
are in
pig.
urgent need of
He's
treatment
literally a former
and
pig.
often refuse it when offered.
New York City
Oh,
police and emergency workers are being instructed to remove homeless people with severe mental illnesses from city streets and subways.
And all of us know it. Well, you all know it. You're watching people standing there on the street talking to themselves, don't have shoes on.
the problem is that's setting it up to be abused. With police, if a person talks back to them, we're going to commit you.
Yep,
Shadow boxing,
exactly.
unkept, and we are walking by them. We're pretending as though we don't see them. Sitting in those tents and those encampments, seeing human waste, stale food, dirty clothing, people who are dealing with mental health crises, and then we have the audacity to say that they should live that way? I'm just not going to do
You
it.
don't care about the homeless nigga. You ain't doing nothing to help the rest of them.
Danger to themselves.
Right.
The homeless people would be
All right, I
involuntarily
ain't got to listen to no more of that bullshit.
No, he helping. He helping them goddamn migrants.
Nowadays, to revive the black community, what the city did to the black community. You all know about San Francisco and what it was a thriving, it was what's called the Harlem of the West. Now it's not. Now the only building that we can do something with to help train youngsters and community members is got an RP in it. It's ridiculous. And you need to write letters or call the city or do whatever you got to do to stop the RP. So, excuse me, I'm sort of getting over here. All I'm doing, folks, is asking you to stop the RFP and use some of the reparations money to acquire the building and do whatever's got. It's very little that needs to be done to the building. Then you can use the building to help stop crime in the area, train our young people, train them to have marketable skills, so we can reduce the crime and make our community safer. I'm sitting up there and we have how.
I said something similar like that yesterday at one of the debates.
In your hands, so do something with it. Call or stop it now because the RFP is out. You can call and write letters.
So thank you very much for your comments. Thanks for coming out today. Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, task force. So I'm Daniel Andrew from San Francisco, also like Ken, and I sit on the Reparations Advisory Board in San Francisco with our great historian, Dr. Brown. I want to thank you, and at the same time, hearing the passion coming from our people and hearing even those who said some things that I didn't like, by the way, on the cause, it really bothers me for us to not realize, like what the brother was saying, that here in America, it's about the land. Whether you're talking about 40 acres or 1 acre, ultimately, real estate is rooted in land. So as a member of that advisory committee in San Francisco, people keep asking us why.
Give me the goddamn check. Well, they can devalue the currency. Give me the goddamn check. They devalue the currency, that's gonna hurt them too. So they're not gonna do that.
How about we do this? You can make that check a little less, but give me land. For whatever you think that you need to chop off of their shit. Give me land, because that is money. If these niggas got to give you acres and acres, that is fucking money. Not just you want to live there your damn self, but land is gold nowadays in the United States.
Well, I don't know if you've been following, but we had a situation with the Blacc family in El Paso.
Okay.
Down by Colorado Springs. Black
Yeah,
farmers that's terrorized by their white neighbors.
I saw that. I'm in Texas a lot, and this wasn't going on. I ain't been down in, I don't know, 4 months or something. But this wasn't going on. But I would go out there and help them, and now they're getting some help too. People have been going out there volunteering to help them and shit. I had no idea. Their fucking ranch is massive. I was thinking I'd go down there and sit outside the front of it. That thing, man, that thing is massive, bro. And I
Yeah, one
saw someone did that. He got shot at, or shot and killed. The first person who volunteered to do security down there. Somebody walked up behind him and shot him. And the black dude say he think that they thought it was him, and they thought they were killing him. It was a dude helping him with keep the place secure.
well, we covered the whole thing on a previous episode, but before anybody else in Denver, because I don't know if you're familiar with Jeff Fard, Brother Jeff.
No.
There's a media personality out here called Brother Jeff. He's a former DJ. Now he just does shows Monday through Friday on Facebook Live, and
Yeah.
He's been real heavy in the political scene out here as of late. So he's trying to play kingmaker in the mayor's race, and these it's so people are so disinterested in this election.
Right.
The polls are saying like 60% of Denver voters don't even know who they're going to vote for. They're undecided.
Right. Like it's disinterested. Yeah.
And we're a month away from the selection.
All right. Damn. Yeah, that's total disinterest, man. That proves that it's a selection. They're putting up candidates that you don't feel neither way about. Now I got 30 days to vote for the lesser of two evils and all of that bullshit. The system isn't set up where somebody I admire, it could be my fucking plumber, has an equal shot at running shit. What the guy who has to look me in the eye at the grocery store, I want him in charge of shit, man. I don't want some guy in the gilded cage who fucking kids go to a private school making decisions for me in the ghetto.
Yeah, I agree.
My battery is getting low, Black. That's why
you can
kill the camera.
The damage has been done to black people in America. So let's be very clear. And as OG told me in the streets, you're not a man until you got land. Let's get to the land issue. Because when I look at Article 34 and I look at the covenant restrictions here in the state of California, this was the common way here in California and America. They didn't have to say black exclusion like they said the Chinese exclusion, because it was the way of life. Racism, ignorance, stupidity is a way of life here in America. So I want to be very clear. Land. And Abrabagate, Hotep, healthy land, not toxic land, like Bayview Hunters Point.
Hotep.
So I know we got 2 minutes, but I want to thank
African or Kemetic for saying peace.
I got some buddies in a lodge, and their lodge is all about Egypt and stuff, and that's how they're greeting Hotep.
Committee in San Francisco. When people come up and say things you don't like, take it. Because look what our people have went through here in America. Take it. It's all good. I'll be a punching bag for you. Come to San Francisco. Let me have it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming today. Next speaker, please.
My name is Gloria Perot-Dyer, and I live in Roseville, California. I have an unusual story in that I grew up in the town of Allensworth. I will show you now the certificate that was awarded to my father, Jefferson Piero, who was...
Are you familiar with Allensworth, California? It was a predominantly black town. It was like a black settlement that black people had made before the First World War, I believe. Yeah, it was like during the time of Black Wall Street, 100 years ago.
Okay.
So that's what she's referencing.
All right.
Instrumental in helping it to become a part of the California Department of Parks and Recreation. And this was awarded to him. He is now deceased. But I will say in that connection that growing up in Allensworth was an extraordinary experience in terms of being able to see how racism affected an entire town. My family moved to Allensworth in 1953, and by the way, has maintained a presence there ever since. Our family farm is still there, it's still in the family hands, which, by the way, as gentlemen before me mentioned, the land is so important. My father, when he bought that land, there was no well on it, and the farmers around him, the white farmers all around him had wells. We didn't. Our house had no running water. We had to haul water for like 11 years. Then Sergeant Shriver came to our house. This was President Kennedy's brother-in-law, and helped get wells in the community. But the point I'm going to say, since I have very little time, my family has done a lot to build up the community of Allensworth. And what I wanted to say, it represents something. Okay, it represents something because it was built by ex-slaves and so forth. Now, lastly, I would make this observation. If you want to do something, it's not going to solve the problem if we just throw money at it. Land, as we mentioned, and also programs and resources to undo the psychological harm that has been done by being surrounded by hatred for centuries.
Thank you so very much for traveling here today.
Peace, greetings, and grand rising, California Reparations Task Force panel. I am Yvette Yaira Coburn. I am a native born in Los Angeles, California, who descends from powerful ancestors that were enslaved 400 plus years through the transatlantic chattel enslavement, where I have personally traced my own family lineage back to the early Virginian colonies of the 1600s. I am honored to be standing here to share my own testimony and proposal not only as an advocate of the reparations movement, but also as a professional genealogist with root trackers, also known as learning DNA genealogy. I have had 6 years of success breaking the brick walls in several American Black freedmen family trees through the paper trail and genetic genealogy, helping orphans, adoptees, and those who were missing one parent. I have not had the discussion of using a genetic process to have as an additional qualifier or one's ancestors that are from this northern territory genetically during chattel enslavement, in addition to providing a family tree with the Freedom Bill. The paper trail is not always proven to be correct, as there are no non-paternity events to discover through DNA for all. Please let me know who on this task force I can reach out to present this in more further detail. And furthermore, we must have our own agency. Otherwise, there's no true healing and freedom from the 5+ harms that is still relevant and present today. Please be mindful, empathetic, compassionate, and productive in your decisions and delivering any sense of wrong, overdue repair. Power to the Freedman family.
Power to the Black family, goddammit. Foundation of Black America.
You may begin. Hi, good morning. My name is Tom Ansley, and I'm here. I trace my lineage back. On 3 sides, I'm back to the 1600s, and I'm still on the soil. On one side, I got back to 1868, and that ancestor said he was born in Africa and that his mother and father were born in Africa. On the other side, I've gotten back to the 1700s, and we're still in California. We have never left California. I've read the Reparations Task Force study, the report. I'm actually almost on the 9th chapter of my 3rd reading of it. And I haven't found any case law in there where it is the state of California versus freedmen. I know that there was a freedman town that came here from a general who served in the military. He actually got his training from a freedman school. He taught in a freedman school after serving in the Philippines. He came up through Texas and then bought some.
Joe Cool.
Yep.
Are you familiar with the Freedmen's Bureau that was created during Reconstruction?
Not under that name. I'm familiar with Reconstruction and some of the things that occurred, but I'm not familiar with the Freedmen's Bureau.
So the Freedmen's Bureau was a bank that was put together after the Civil War, so Black people could have a lender, so they could buy
Yeah.
stuff, so build stuff. So
Yeah.
the bank was created, and sometime I think it was around for like 2 years during Reconstruction, and
Yeah.
somehow it ended up getting shut down, and the white people took all the money out of the bank. Like there was a whole bunch of Black people that had invested in that bank, and like
I heard
millions.
about it recently, and I don't recall. Nothing is coming to my recollection, but I heard about this recently when they were talking about all the other things that get glossed over in Black history every time, like the Black Wall Street, and every time Tulsa shit. Every time Black motherfuckers tried to make and did make progress. In fact, they always talk about there were no coups. That's not true. During Reconstruction, there were original Black senators and stuff, and when they was promising us that 40 acres and a mule, and white folks went in there and forcibly removed them and put Black candidates in. They took over the fucking government then.
Yep, you talking about the Whig
Yeah.
Party and shit like that. Yep.
All right. All right, Black. Dinner is ready and my battery is getting low. I'm gonna cut out on you, man.
All right, Joe.
Uh,
Appreciate you joining me.
all right. All right. Next time I see you live, man, I'll be here to check you out.
Okay.
All right, be easy, bro.
You too. Be careful. All right, so we're here. It's just me. So I was gonna finish up with. So we're going to let it chase one. Let it chase. Hold on, Black family. Lady Che. Yeah. Sorry about that, Black family. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get to our last two topics of the night. Lady Chase dealing with a situation, so just had to deal with that. The last two topics are the unhoused neighbor news and the unhoused neighbor sweeps. Black family, the sweeps continue. The last month of Hancock is full of sweeps. The new mayor will take office come July 15th, I believe, 2023. So we'll keep y'all updated on this mayor's race and the candidates that want to lock them up. They want to lock up our unhoused neighbors. Right there. That's my turn, by the way. I don't know, some of my unhoused neighbors, they got it for me. But I said they unhoused, but they're still part of the community. The update on that is, like I said, the sweeps continue. No stop in sight. There's several candidates in this mayor's race that want to lock them up and condemn them. And we're just not feeling it at all. Team Paris, we got this neo-Nazi by the name of Andy Roger. He want to do that military vet. And then we got Trinidad Rodriguez, who just recently caught COVID. That must be karma. And then you got Chris Hansen, who got endorsed by the police. And you got several other candidates, but those are the main three. Thomas Wolfe. The reason why he's running because he wants to get rid of the encampments. And he's always talking about them people and them, they and them people. This is they city and them people. So that's the terminology he's been using. And there's several more. There's even Kelly Bruh. She said as a last resort would be jail. So write in Jesse Parrish for Denver mayor, period, point blank. JESSEPARRIS. And the ballots drop next week, Black family, on the 13th. So if you're in Denver, you will be getting your ballot next week. And at the very bottom of it, you can write my name in. So peace, love, light, reparations, and Black empowerment. Under Paris administration, we will do better. So support the campaign, y'all. Support the campaign. Get them banners up. And shout out to Shabaka Sankori, Shabaka Black Smith. Yes, he wasn't able to join us today. Here's his cash app. And check us out Tuesday for a brand new episode of Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. And I believe the title is Be Careful. Keep your head on a swivel. So make sure y'all tune in for that. Call in 516-418-5996. Press 1 and you'll be added to the queue. And Ramel Understanding and Frontline Black News, thank y'all for watching. Shout out to Joe Cool for tapping in. Peace. We'll be back next Saturday with a brand new episode. So stay tuned.